What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Here to finally bring you a video, a draft profile, scouting report on my favorite player in this draft, but also maybe the most controversial. That's Jermaine Burton from Alabama. Let's get into it, guys. So, he's my final draft profile slash scouting report video I'm going to do before the draft. I did a couple guys. I left some out, vacations and family fun and work as well got in the way. Didn't do as many guys as I wanted to. But I might do a my guys video maybe tomorrow. I'm doing this video late Monday night, April 22nd. Draft is in a couple days, so I might put one out Tuesday morning, Tuesday evening, somewhere around that time. But I won't do any more solo individual videos. But Jermaine Burton, man, as I said earlier, probably the most controversial, most polarizing prospect, most boom or bust player in this class, simply because off the field, even on the field antics, but not as far as not dealing with technique or play style or none of that stuff. Is dealing with personality, anger issues, explosive attitude, things of that nature. Major red flags that things we've seen in players that pop up off the court and also on the field as well. That kind of get you out of coaches' favors and stuff like that. And but start from the beginning. He's at Georgia for 2 years, won a title there his last year at Georgia, then transferred to Bama, won the bigger role, things of that nature. Did just that, led the team in receiving yards and other things. His final 2 years in college football, which were at Alabama, and he put on the show, man. And I believe, and I say this all the time when I talk to people, in Instagram or in real life, whatever, social media or in real life. I have him right below Brian Thomas as my fifth wide receiver in this draft class. I truly do. Above Troy Franklin from Oregon, above Xavier Worthy, even Mitchell. Mitchell is debatable from Texas, because the size, just like Brian Thomas Jr., they both have that size, speed, explosiveness that you don't have in other guys in this class. But he's right up there. He's in the mix, right behind the big three. Then you have Brian Thomas, but I do like Burton a little bit more than Mitchell. But I'm not opposed to having Mitchell fifth and then Burton sixth. But I have Burton as a late first round, early second rounder if it wasn't for the personality red flag issues, which we'll get into in a little bit. But that boosts him, that brings him all the way down to maybe fifth, sixth rounder, and that's a shame, But overall, he's 6 foot 195, runs a 4.45, and he's not a blazing speed guy, but he does have a long stride. He can break away from guys, and he's a true deep threat. He does nothing else really good. He doesn't block. He doesn't really go underneath pretty well, slant routes, none of that stuff across the middle. He's a strictly deep threat, and that's what he does great, in my opinion. I think he can be one of the best deep threats in the league if he does pan out. And for me personally, it's not a thing about if he can play. It's about can he keep his head on straight, and that's the main thing. He's fast. I guess the one negative about him, he doesn't really have any quick twitch to him. No flashiness after the catch. He's gonna run straight. He catch the ball, he runs straight ahead, dang near. There's no real juke spin, flashy getaway. He either outruns you or he doesn't. And that's really that with him. But solid hands. I think above average hands in my personal opinion. Good speed on him, not great speed, and he's very reliable in the deep threat. Good body contortion, can twist his body in midair, can get at the high point, even though he's not super big, 6 foot. He's been playing elite ball his entire life. Went to IMG Academy, obviously went to Georgia, played and started both years there, won the title. I don't know if he started there, but he started most of the games there, and he also was the best receiver in my opinion at Bama for the last 2 years also. So he gives you great play, big time games the last all 4 years, and even high school 5-6 years of his career since playing high school football. So there's that on that. But then you go to the red flags, to the bad stuff, which we get into. Obviously, a couple years ago, he hit the young lady after one of the games. That wasn't right, obviously. But even besides that, he has some issues even on the field with explosive personality. After plays, he's too exuberant, too wild, too explosive, and that could cause penalties, and doing that, unnecessary penalties will cause coaches to get on your butt. And when that's the case, that can find you a quick way out, no matter how talented you are. Stuff like that will get on a coach and a organization's nerves when you do stuff like that after the play, a big catch. Too many just too many calls on you, too much celebration, stuff like that. Getting into it with cornerbacks and safeties and stuff like that. That will cause him to lose favor in the locker room and also lose favor, more importantly, of the coaching staff. So that's really the main red flag on him. There's other stuff as well, as I mentioned earlier. He's not really a blocker. He needs to put more effort there. But, to me, I'm not tripping. Every receiver and every scheme, obviously you want to have a receiver that tries to block, but look, if you're a deep threat as good as he is, as good as I believe that he can be, I'm cool with it. He is what he is, and some effort, better effort should be there. At least putting forth and trying to do some more stuff in the run game, but I'm not really, not really tripping about stuff like that. It is what it is. It happens. But as far as being strictly a deep threat, which what he is, he's nothing else but a deep threat, in my opinion. He may change in the league, because players' roles change sometimes, but normally you are what you are, and he's to me an elite deep threat and can be very good from the get go. And it's funny because people had Xavier Worthy there at late round one, but if the Chiefs do miss out on Xavier Worthy at round one, pick 32, obviously, I think they could probably try to just sit back, wait, and relax, and try to land Jermaine Burton maybe in the fourth, fifth, sixth round, maybe even seventh round. Heck, it depends on how things shake up. Because I've seen rumors where teams have him off their board completely. No matter how talented he is, when you have personalities, attitude like that, that stuff will definitely take scouts and teams, organizations, GMs off, because they have nothing to deal with these veteran players already going wild. They don't want to bring someone that obviously have a red flag and that could be a nuisance down the road, or even quickly in as soon as the season starts, even before the season starts, like some rookies are. They make mistakes and things happen, but you don't want to pick someone obviously that's going to be too obvious to be a candidate for that to happen to. So we'll see. But if the Chiefs, if one of these contenders, any team in general, but especially the Chiefs, if they miss out on Worthy and they bring in Burton, that will be insanely scary, because they have someone, to me, who I think is a can't miss prospect, skill wise, talent wise. Yes, he might be not on the team long term because of his attitude and personality and stuff, but skill, I have no question about skill wise how good he can be, how good he will be, especially with a guy like Pat Mahomes. Oh, him, Andy Reid, boy, it's gonna be crazy, and him replacing Tony maybe, because I still think, it's still early, but Kadarius Toney could get released. Probably will have no trade suitors for him if he is released or on the market. Sky Moore hasn't quite panned out yet. Maybe it's last year. So if Burton can, hang on, if he gets drafted, let's say the Chiefs, but do any team. If he can hang on in training camp, hang on, play it safe, keep his head down low, work on his personality and his explosive tendencies and stuff like that. If he can do that stuff and just hang on, show off in practice and preseason and stuff like that, he will get his time. And once he does, he's going to show out, in my opinion, no doubt about it. I think he's that good. As I said, he's probably the second, third receiver outside the big three that I think should be a first rounder, fringe first rounder, even without the red flag. I think he's a fringe first rounder. As I said, where the Xavier Worthy should be at, fringe first rounder, probably second rounder, but I wouldn't mind seeing him go late first round. The last 2, 3, 4, 5 picks should be his range if there was no red flag. But since it is, he's probably a 4th, 5th, 6th, maybe even 7th rounder. Undrafted, I don't know. I've seen, like I said, people have him off the board in general. I've seen that, but most likely I would say he will be drafted just very, very late, and probably to a contender. So we'll see where that goes there. But that's it for Jermaine Burton, man, and my draft profile, scouting report for him. Um, it sucks to see him not get the recognition that that he should get, because I see a lot of these mocks having, a lot of these guys, receivers, they're all talented young men and stuff like that. But Jermaine Burton deserves, just as talent goes, he deserves to be mentioned as far as, being up there as a fringe first rounder, top second rounder. But he did it to himself. Hitting the young lady post game. I forgot what game was it, Texas or Tennessee, one of them two games a couple years ago, and then just after plays doing a little too much, causing issues and stuff. I think that will that definitely hurt him now, and hopefully he gets in the league and gets his shot. But we'll see how everything goes, because once word gets around about you, it's kind of hard to shake it off. So you got to work hard to do that, and work every day, work every season to get it done, and to get the narrative off him. So the best way to do it is just attacking it straightforward. Mention in the press conference when they draft you, this is why you dropped. You should have been this, but you weren't. And attack from that point forward, and do your best to get away from that narrative. And I think there is a chance that he can do that. Therapy. I know a lot of players these days, I've been reading, they get therapy. And just to help out with mental issues, or just everyday life. Because especially it's hard dealing with this pressure of being an NFL player, and dealing with life in general is hard. So hopefully he can find some healthy path to help himself stay in the league once he gets his opportunity. So that's it for video, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys next time.